Welcome. In this video, we're going to take a look at how to create a recurring work order inside of DLX-FM. Most of the basics have already been covered in the video on how to use work orders on the web of DLX-FM, so please see that one in advance. To create a recurring work order, go to Work Orders and select Create. And from there, you can select Recurring work order. A recurring work order is pretty much the same as a work order, but instead of having just a single occurrence, it will be recurring within an interval. As a standard, it's set as inactive. When we click Activate, that means it's going to generate work orders in the interval that we set it to. So we can name it, changing filters, for instance. We can also use work order templates, just like a standard work order. We can add descriptions, pictures, placements, and just as a normal work order, we have to add a team and a responsible person within that team. Service contract and suppliers can also be used in this case, but here we can select whether or not to auto order. This means that we can actually create a recurring work order that goes out to a supplier through the supplier portal if they have a recurring job that we need them to do. Where the recurring work order differs the most is in the deadline section, because here we have repetition. In that, we have many possibilities to set up the repetition of the work order. First, we can set an interval, week, month, year, or a fixed one. Let's do week. Then we can select on what days it can be generated. And then the interval itself. For instance, every, let's say 2 weeks. We can select which months to be active in. Avoid weekends. Select when the nearest date will be. Or set a user-defined start date. We can go with no end date after a certain amount, or at a specific date to end. But let's go with no end date. And click OK. The duration is how much time it takes to complete the task. Days generated ahead is how many days we wish to generate ahead within this repetition window. So for instance, we have set this to every 2 weeks. If we set this to days generated ahead 30, this will approximately give us 2 work orders in our inbox every month. This is how we control that even though we have a recurring work order that spans many years ahead, we only give so many work orders to the responsible person to not flood them with work orders in their inbox. Everything else works the same as a regular work order. The expected cost can really have a benefit when you use the budget module along with the recurring work order, because that can make it clear what kind of expenses we have connected to our recurring work orders in the future. On the plus, we can add checklists, documents, notifications once the work order has been created. Checklists also have a great feature here for the recurring work orders, because checklists can be recurring maintenance or checkups, and therefore fit nicely into the whole recurring work order system. But now click Create, Confirm, and now we've created a recurring work order. To get an overview of them, we can go to Recurring Work Orders and select all recurring work orders. Here we can see all of our recurring work orders and their placement within weeks, or on the calendar view, change it to months. Red means that a work order has been generated from the recurring work order, but hasn't been completed. The yellow ones can still be completed in time and have been generated, and the blue ones have not been generated yet. So there's not a work order in the inbox of the responsible yet. So this is the overview of our recurring work orders and how they will be generating work orders in the future. We can always click our work order and see all related work orders. So all of these are the individual work orders that our recurring work order has been generating throughout the time. And we can click them directly and see the particular one and all of the particular data inside of this one, inside of this work order that has been created from our recurring work order. This is how we use recurring work orders inside of Dialogz FM. See you again next time.